1 part music video, 2 parts car chase, California Crisis is an action-adventure OVA from the short-lived Studio Unicorn. The story's fairly simple and takes place in an idealized 1980s California, where Coca-Cola machines are plentiful, streets are hot, and car chases can break out at any moment. Out for a drive in his 1950s Chevy, our main character Noera bumps into a girl on a motorcycle on his way to work. California Crisis then wastes no time getting things moving, because no sooner does she ask for directions, they quickly find themselves stuck in a gunfight between 2 groups of vehicles trying to run each other off the road. Narrowly escaping, our main characters then decide to drop by a roadside diner to sort of process what's just happened. And it seems in the confusion, Marcia has stolen a silver box from one of the trailers that they just escaped from. Arguing over whether they should simply turn it into the police or keep it for themselves, the container falls off the table and an unassuming glass ball pops out, which they both save from shattering on the floor. But once they both catch it, it shows them a vision of a desert, which they immediately realize is Death Valley from a conveniently placed photo on the diner wall. Coming to the conclusion that it must be from a UFO, Marcia wants to drop it off at Death Valley, but our main character Noera would much rather down another beer than have anything to do with it.
American Dream. American Dream.
Huh?
A car chase straight out of The Naked Gun or the video game Road Avenger then breaks out, and our main characters are on the run again, piling up more cars behind them than a Blues Brothers film. I can't help but feel bad for Noera. He's being chased by the KGB, the US government, his Chrysler gets junked, and the entire film he just looks like he wished he was back on his spaceship with the rest of the galactic heroes. There really isn't much more to California Crisis' story from this point on. Noera and Marcia visit some nightclubs, more chase scenes break out, and the OVA essentially becomes a music video halfway through. California Crisis was also produced at a time when Japan was throwing money at anyone with a pen, and I really hate to say it, but they just don't make them like this anymore. Sprinkled throughout the entire anime are numerous references to movies the animators were fans of or were airing at the time. If you pay attention, you might even notice Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper from the movie Easy Rider get killed on screen in one of the car chases. Noera and Marcia are the only 2 main characters, but Noera does bump into an old friend of his that he hasn't seen since high school, who, unbeknownst to Noera, turns out to be working for one of the groups that's been chasing them throughout the entire OVA. Strangely enough, this revelation never really goes anywhere, and the film ends rather abruptly, leaving nothing resolved, leading me to believe it may have been intended to get a sequel, but the studio went belly up before any of that came to fruition. The mood is uniquely 1980s, and only enhanced by Miho Fujiwara's excellent vocals, and her single, Streets Are Hot, really makes this soundtrack. I must have listened to it about 100 times while making this review, and I didn't get tired of it even once. Not only do the visuals contrast well, but each scene also differs strikingly between chases and laid-back country roads. I actually enjoyed the slower-paced parts more than the chases, and I really wish that there were more of them. California Crisis only had 1 home release on VHS and has never been released in the United States. If the price on the box is any indication, it cost over $80 at the time, and that's in 1986 dollars, so consider yourself lucky if you can track this one down. Overall, I really enjoyed this anime. The heavy shading and use of solid colors against heavily contrasted backgrounds is really unique, and it paints a period piece of 1980s California which I feel everybody can appreciate, but at a scant 45 minutes, it left me wanting more, and many people may find the ending to be a disappointment since it makes no attempts to really resolve any of the plot points. But not every anime needs a story, and California Crisis is more about the drive than the destination anyway, so kick back, drink some Coke, and give California Crisis a try. It's a fun ride.